Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to be talking about what asset systems are, how they can benefit us, how they can shift the trajectory of our lives. And that's really what we're all about here at Twinkle Trajectory. So, we're going to start off. First of all, hello, where are you from? We'd love to hear in the comments where are you from, and welcome. This is so exciting. You have come to our corner of the internet where we're revolutionizing health, wellness. We're on a water wellness journey. We're creating new pathways for income, and we're bringing longevity into both business and health through a suite of medical grade water devices and some other really cool, fun systems that we can implement into our lives. First of all, let me start by saying, what really is the power of investing in assets or even thinking about spending money in a way of investing in assets? Investing in yourself, that's investing in an asset. Assets are things that grow, right? And rich people, the people that we often see as successful and who have all of the boxes checked and who have done all the things, they're the people who invest in assets. I can almost guarantee you that they have more assets than they do actual cash on hand. So assets are a really important part of building your legacy. And there are systems and structures and things that already exist that can support you in your journey of becoming. And that's really what we're offering here today. So I want to give you a breakdown of how you can actually enter into a world where you have the accessibility to many different asset systems and what those asset systems actually look like. So, first, this slide is all about partnering with me through mentorship. So, this is how you enter into my world. And there's really three main pathways. The first pathway is you dip your toes in, right? You enter the foyer. This is where you're inside the membership or you have a masterclass subscription. Maybe you're just in the monthly, maybe you're in the yearly. Maybe you are dipping your toes through our free resources, right? That's pathway one. That's just getting a little taste. We invite that. We love that. We appreciate that. Pathway number two is journeying through the halls. So this is going to be the courses, the yearly membership, masterminds, which will be coming soon. The yearly membership is set up like self-led mastermind. It is set up like a self-led mastermind. So you're really journeying through the halls. You're really getting to know the structures and the systems that are available for you and how you can begin to already implement them into your everyday life. And these systems and these structures, they're going to support you in letting go of childhood trauma. They're going to support you in building the life that you truly desire, the one that you don't need a vacation from, the one that you feel totally solid and rooted and heart-led in, the one that you feel fully empowered to live, right? That's what these pathways are leading to. And then pathway number three is going to be journeying down the stream. This is high-level access, most intimate way that you can enter my world. And that says a lot because the yearly membership, everything in there is very intimate. I'm sharing anecdotal information with you. I'm sharing different stories with you from my life, different examples from my life. Sorry, we have a chicken. And we get really personal there. And I'm also giving you real tools for you to implement in your life in a way that works for you, right? Because I'm not here to force you to do something just because I'm doing it. I want it to work for you. And that's why I'm giving this to you in a way where you get access to the systems, the structures, and the strategies, and you get to implement them in the way that feels the best for you. So, pathway 3, as I was saying, journeying down the stream, most intimate. This is going to be one-on-one support packages. We have session packages available upon request. We do audits. That's kind of intensive of sorts. And then we also have the water work packages, which I'm going to be sharing with you today. So, the water work packages, if you're curious about the session packages or one-on-one packages, you can frolic onto the website and there's lots of information there about both of those things. You just won't be able to purchase it. So reach out to me and we can determine if it's a good fit for both of us and move forward from there. With waterwork packages, you're going to go through discovery journey of how I work with water, the companies that I work with, how that all plays together, the benefits of doing that, why I'm so passionate about doing it. And when you choose to come into my world through the waterwork packages, you get onboarding, you get access to all of the groups that I've created, all of the groups that I'm a part of, that are my upline, my upstream. You get access to my mentorship through a group container. And so there are a few different ways that you can invest through this waterwork option. So I want to break that down here for you today. There's actually 4 pathways here. The first pathway is going to be Enagic and PureWay mentorship. So this is if you sign on with a PureWay system, and also if you invest in at least one Enagic product. Pathway number 2 is going to be a 5, 6, 7, and 8 pack. I'll explain more what that means later. Pathway number 3 is just Enagic mentorship. So this requires one machine or product. We're going to break these down a little bit further, but I just want to give you this brief overview. And then pathway 4 is PureWay mentorship only. This is no purchase necessary. It's up to you to put in the work and commit to that, and I will meet you there. And with Enagic, we have some specific pathways as well. We're all about the pathways here. We're all about options. We're all about allowing you to walk your own path here. So pathway number 1 is, these are all with Enagic. This is going to be a silent partnership. This is where you refer leads to us. We close the deals. We do all the back end stuff. This is an application only pathway. Pathway number 2 is a joint partnership. This is where you become a part of Tranquil Trajectory and you start your own franchise of this business with us. You get access to training and live calls. And then pathway number 3 is just conscious consumer. This is you just want the machine, and that's totally cool too. You want the systems, and you will always have the opportunity to start your business up if you desire. With Enagic, there is sort of an investment strategy, and I'm going to touch on how this is one of the systems that can really allow us to amplify our wealth through these media. So the investment strategy for Enagic is either usually one machine, the trifecta, the quad. We're also going to talk about 5, 6, 7, and 8 packs in this call. I'm going to break down everything for you, so don't worry. You're going to have all the information that you need. The PureWay pathways are very similar to Enagic's pathways. You have the opportunity to be a sales rep, application only. You'll make your own sales, take your own calls, and fully access the benefits of being a sales rep for PureWay. Pathway number 2 is your Pure Perks referral. So will be the space for your referrals to land. And then again, if you just want the system in your home, which I don't see why you wouldn't, the best water filtration system on the market, in my opinion, you will have access to the machine. You'll have access to me, obviously, to walk you through any upkeep in 2 years when it comes time to change the filters in your system. And this really gives you so many different ways to access these systems that are already here to support you. And really, what is the benefit of working with asset systems? Well, really, what you're doing is you're investing in your time and your energy into something that has the power to multiply for you. I did the math yesterday. My next sale with Enagic, if I make a quad sale, it's $3,000. That's how much I make on one sale. If I just sell a K8, I make like $1,400. Simply because of the way that I invested in my asset systems and the way that I chose to build my business. This is possible for you too. We're going to offer you insights on our water chat call of how you can actually build your business in a way that really supports you and nourishes you for the long term so you can really build that retirement income. So this is what I would consider to be the complete water wellness solution. This is the PureWay system combined with Enagic's K8. The PureWay system is a whole house filtration system that filters out 99.99% of contaminants, chlorine, chloramine, BPAs, PFAS, hormones, 88% of fluoride, which is well above a lot of how other filters test. And sometimes other filters can't even confirm that they can filter out fluoride. So if you're really looking to up level your life through making one small, simple shift, this is what I would recommend. You're going to get the whole house system. It'll be installed by a plumber. You're going to get the K8 in the mail. It hooks up easily to a faucet. You're going to get explanation of the way to take care of upkeep on these machines, etc. There's financing. Not to mention, with both of these, you can start a business, another lane, another stream of income. So let's talk a little bit about the PureWay system. If you want a deep dive on the PureWay system, and if you want to purchase the PureWay system, let's schedule a call so that we can do that on the call. It's a really simple and easy process. It's just easier if we are live together. So the PureWay filter, what it's getting out is 99.99% of contaminants. And because of the way the system is formatted. So it goes through 3 different stages, 10 different technologies, 3 different stages. The first stage is basically what your water softener does for you. Second stage is getting out all those PFAS, chlorine, chloramine, heavy metals. In stage 1, we actually lower the pH in order to get the majority of pesticides, herbicides, solvents, VOCs, right? And then in the second stage, that's when the pH rises back up again. And the third stage is neutralized. And in the third stage, it goes through medical grade technology. This is nano armor. This is going to get out the rest of any heavy metals that might be present. It's going to get any bacteria out, and it also prevents microbial growth inside the system. So this is going to last you so much longer because of the way it's designed and formulated. And it's very reasonably priced for doing so. So this is one system that you can add in the base of your home that will cover every single faucet. If you have a hose spigot outside, it'll even cover that. If you're on a well, there are customizable options for this system to make sure that you're getting everything out and that you have more pure water in your home, so that your living water every day that you're bathing in, that you're doing dishes in, isn't full of chlorine and contaminants. Do you know how fast that can get sucked up into the skin? It takes 3 seconds, if that. So this is revolutionary, especially because it covers every single faucet. If you didn't get the K8 with this, you would still be making a very good investment in a system that is going to support you long term. If you wanted to add, you're then going to have all of the water that you can use for the different uses around the home, like cleaning. I've been using 6.0 in my hair as hair conditioner, 2.5 for sanitizer, 11.5 for laundry detergent. You're saving a lot of money by investing in something up front. and you can utilize it for all of these different purposes. It also makes food taste way better. But the PureWay filter is neutral water. The K8 produces neutral water, but the filtration in the PureWay it far surpasses the capacity of the filter in the K8. The K8 filters out 2.5 microns up to 2.5 microns of debris. The PureWay filter is 0.5. So it's getting the bacteria. A big thing for me was when selling the K8 to people in other countries, they need a pre-filter, right? And what can I sell that gets all of that stuff out, especially for somewhere like Mexico where you have bacteria in the water? The PureWay is going to get everything out. And then there's the whole house duo system, which is going to be the whole house filtration system with PureWay. And then you add on K and an Anespa. And that gives you, this is for if you have one bathroom in your house. This will give you electrolyzed reduced water, and it will also give you mineral infused water for the bath and shower. And I have seen so much success from people once living with psoriasis and other skin conditions, eczema, and now since implementing these products in their home, they no longer have that issue. Here's a little bit of the specs behind the K8 and the Anespa. The K8 is a water ionizer that goes through a process of ionization and electrolysis. And that just means that it passes electricity through 8 platinum-dipped titanium plates, and it creates electrically charged, hydrogen-rich, alkalized waters in a variety of different pHs. There's actually 5 different types of Kangen water. There's way more information about Kangen water in other videos, so be sure to check that out. The Anespa, this is the in-home shower system. This produces mineral-infused ionized water for your shower, making it like having the spa or the hot springs is really what it was modeled after. And so you can see in the K8, it goes through the electrolysis system, creates both alkalized and acidic water. What's happening with the filtration in the K8 is it's actually splitting the molecules. It's separating it into acidic and alkalized. All of the bad stuff that you wouldn't want is going to go through the acidic hose, but the acidic water actually has uses for cleaning and stuff like that. So if you don't have a pre-filter, you run the risk of having heavy metals, other contaminants coming out of the acidic hose, and that kind of limits your ability to use it to its fullest potential, really. You could still use it, but it's obviously better to have the pre-filter. The tufa MIC stone and neodymium magnet all play a role in filtering the water inside of the Anespa, and they activate it, adding back in vital nutrients for the skin, which is our largest organ. It doesn't make sense to change your drinking water and not change the water that you're bathing in or that you're using on an everyday basis. So this is the K8, neutralizes harmful free radicals in the body, produces hypochloric acid, and replaces all household cleaners. Easy install, movable from place to place. Annie, the Anespa, easy to set up, removes chlorine. You actually absorb more chlorine in a 10-minute hot shower than you would drinking 1 liter of tap water. This is preventative wellness, guys. Do you know what chlorine does to your body? It dries you out. It's acidic. It literally depletes you of energy. And both of these systems right here are going to give back to you. They're going to give energy to you. So not only do these systems benefit your health and wellness, but there's also options that can support you financially as well. So we have some business forward packages. This is going to be your trifecta. So we have the K8, the Anespa, and the Ukon. I recommend adding a pre-filter onto any package that you get. So I'm always going to recommend the PureWay first. However, some people aren't interested in that, or some people already have some sort of pre-filtration in their house, even though I can almost guarantee PureWay is the better option, especially in my opinion. But for whatever reason, maybe you don't want a whole house filter or whatever the case may be. This is the trifecta. This is all Enagic's products. By investing in these 3 products, you actually are able to get to 6A, which is the highest rank in the company, 3 times as fast, especially if you're then selling trifectas. So when you invest in something, your systems that you invest in often duplicate. So when you invest with the intention of going all in on your business, the system that you invest in then invests in you, right? So it creates this positive feedback loop. There are many benefits to having Ukon, an active Ukon subscription with Enagic while building your business. There are other videos about that, so I'm not going to talk about that here. But let's touch a little bit on how we can benefit from these larger packages. First of all, let's look at some ways that you might build a larger package than a trifecta, and then we'll touch a little bit on these larger packages benefits. So we have the quad variation. So this is going to be an Enagic quad. So the K8, the Anespa, and the 2 M guards, that counts as a quad. The Pure Way is an addition that I recommend if you're going to get an Anespa and a K8. The M guard, it's 1 per person generally, or 1 per room of your house, depending on how you want to do it, how you want to look at it. But this is one way that you can invest in a quad. This will open up more lanes in your business and rank you up higher in the compensation plan more quickly. Again, with PureWay, you can also sell their products, not necessary to buy, but if you're going to be buying top of the line Japanese medical grade products, you want to invest in systems that are going to support those systems, right? You want to invest in the systems that support you. So this is one option. Here's another option. Here are all the products on the screen for you to build your own package. If you want 2 M guards and you want to start with that, that's cool. We can strategize about this on a water chat call. The M guard is going to be your EMF radiation protection. It harmonizes harmful radiation from things like 5G towers, Wi-Fi, all the things, phones. When you only invest in the beef or the M guard, you're not going to get full commission. So I will just say that. It's always best to invest in the core products, which I would really recommend being a K8 and an Anespa. The Ukon, there's 2 different options for Ukon that you can do. We all know the benefits of Ukon, but this Ukon specifically is grown in what you might call a blue zone. So it doesn't have the agricultural or industrial byproducts in it, all of those things. And it's also grown in Kangen water. The Wagyu is grown with Kangen water on a farm in California that they have. So all of these can be utilized to build your own package. And the more you invest up front, the more you're going to get back. And you can also always add on to your investment. So when it comes time for you to hit 4A in Enagic, you might want to think about investing in another Ukon. You could also potentially do Wagyu, something. You want to own that top account so that you get paid when that ranks up and when your top account ranks up. More info on that in other videos. So how can we actually benefit from these larger packages? When you invest more, if you have a K8 and you have an M guard, you get paid full commission. If you have a K8 and you have the beef, you get paid full commission. So when you have more stake in the business, essentially, the more you get paid, the more you get to experience some of the best products on the market. And the more opportunity for wealth you have, the more opportunity to change lives you have, right? So when we invest in systems that support us, those systems then nourish us, and we can nourish others through those systems as well. And that's really the goal here. So let's meet Ernie. This is the M guard. There's lots of studies about EMF radiation causing different health ailments. I can definitely feel it. I was actually just having a conversation with a woman today about them implementing the 5G towers and how we can hear it in the walls and stuff. This is going to neutralize and harmonize all of this. This is especially good if you have children because children absorb 2 to 10 times more of EMF. So this system, this machine, this product is going to assist you in that peace of mind, right? These guys should be your friends too, don't you think? All right, let's take a brief look at the commissions. So you invest in an Ukon. Say you do the Ukon Sigma for your first year. You invest in an Anespa. That trifecta is going to allow you to start as a 2A distributor with Enagic. If you invest in a quad, you'll also be starting as a 2A, but you'll be making 3A commissions. So the way that the compensation plan is set up, you've stacked in a way that allows you to make more. If you invest in a 5-pack or a 6-pack, you're also going to be at 2A, but as soon as you hit 10 sales in your organization, which you're 4 away from if you invest in a 6-pack or a 7-pack, even 3 or 4 away from, you make 1 sale of a quad and you are already 3A. So when we invest in more, it makes it easier to sell more. And because you love the products, you're happy sharing them, people will naturally want to buy them from you. It's easier to rank up in the compensation plan, and it's easier to build your business for the long term so that you're not spending your entire life working for a paycheck or feeding into systems that don't actually nourish you, right? This system will nourish you if you pour into it. My recommendation is to start with the MGuard or the Wagyu in your top account. So I'm going to be selling you that product. And then once you have a distributor ID number, we go in under your account and we purchase the K8, the Anespa. We want to build it so that the most expensive one is going to be last, so it's in the highest lane, so you get the most back in your commissions. So this is something we can strategize together on our call. Additionally, if you invest in Pure Whey, or if you want to begin becoming a sales rep with Pure Whey, you're going to get 18% commission on the net sale. It comes out to about $7.75 per sale, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. It depends on the plumber install. And then 5% of net of your referrals, which is about $210 per sale per referral. So theoretically, I did the math yesterday. If I were to sell an 8-pack, which includes the Pure Whey system, I would make almost $12,000 in one sale. Now I'm 3A with Enagic, so that has a lot to do with it, but that will be my first 3A sale with Enagic. But I basically invested in a quad and I sold a K8 to one person. So I essentially have a quad. I didn't do it all up front. I did it in pieces, but I did a quad with 2 Ukons, an Anespa, and a K8. So there are different ways that you can format these systems, these product packages to really work for you, for your needs, for what your goal is and what you actually want, right? I love all of these products. So it's beneficial for me to invest in these products, and I would do it again, right? So let's talk a little bit about the benefits of E8PA. And if you're investing in a 6-pack or a 7-pack or an 8-pack, or you're wanting to go to the convention, I really recommend getting an E8PA. If you're in it for the long run in your business, I really recommend this. So what is it? It's not a credit card. It's like a point card system. And there are different benefits of it, including you earn points or money essentially every single time a sale happens in your downline, whether it's an E8PA or not. When an E8P is sold in your downline, that E8PA sale commission goes to the closest 6A who has E8PA. So it's essentially a cool way to use a reward system to get you extra points and more money. What can this money be used for? If you go to convention, you can write it off to the company and they'll pay you through the points that you've earned through your downlines. So depending on how many points you have, that could cover the entire cost of convention for you. Also, with those points, you can donate them to people who want to start a business with you. You can donate it to them as their down payment or as some sort of payment for whatever they're investing in. It's a really cool opportunity that the company does. There are more and more benefits as you continue to grow in the company, and also depending on what type of membership you have. So there are different cards: bronze, silver, gold, platinum, black. All of them count as one unit sale. They do not reactivate your account if you are inactive. And we could talk more about what that means. You won't not get commission if you make a direct sale. That's it. You just have to make direct sales in order to qualify to make commission. The only way that your account would become inactive is if you didn't make a direct sale for over a year. And then even if you made a direct sale, you would still get full commission. It's just that you wouldn't get commission for what's in your downline. Anyway, all right. So with the E8PA memberships, the only thing is with bronze, when you're going for 6A, you have to get 10 sales in a month. During that time period, if you sold a bronze E8PA card, it would only be half a unit. So you'd have to sell 20 if you're going to use that for all your points. You get commissions per point, obviously. And like I said, the other incentives are that you can use it as a payoff for things like convention, or as a money back thing, or for your people who are wanting to invest in you. It's a really great opportunity to get some more income, especially if you're really in it for the business. All right, and that concludes our rundown of the systems. I'm going to do another video where I talk about the mentorship opportunities and why it's beneficial to invest in a 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pack, and what that actually looks like with me. Before we end out here, when it comes to the different ways that you can implement these into your life, I would say a residential setup, this is what to keep in your house: a pre-filter, Pure Whey, whole house system, a Nespa, K8, M-Guard per room or per person, Ukon, Kangen Air, that's something that's coming soon. I would have the steak in my house, the Kangen Wagyu. I recommend having a Blue Bottle. I don't have a link or anything for that, but I love my Blue Bottle Love. They're amazing for storing Kangen water. If you're on a farm, add a deluxe or two, the deluxe machine. This will help you to have the appropriate flow for what you're doing on the farm. Add 1 M-Guard per person in the house. If you are more of a traveler, a nomad, the travel package, here's what I would recommend. Or even if you're not, here's what I would take with you if you love to travel or you're going on a trip. Multi-Pure pre-filter. I don't have one. It's a single faucet pre-filter. I don't have a link or anything, but that's what I would recommend. There's I think it's Aqua Perform. That's the specific one I recommend. That one has the best specs. That's for one faucet only. So you could theoretically get that for your house as well, but it only works for one faucet. Why not just get the Pure Whey system? A K8 for your travel package. An M-Guard definitely for your travel package. You can use it on the airplane. A Blue Bottle or a stainless steel water bottle with BPA-free all things. Ukon. Ukon is great for travel. Turmeric helps regenerate the nervous system, right? Medical grade devices fly free in a carry-on also. So this is amazing to know about the K8, and your Multi-Pure pre-filter would also work with that. You could also go for an ion faucet pre-filter. Sometimes ion faucet is better than Multi-Pure depending on what you're looking for. We can talk more about that as well. The business package, Pure Whey, definitely free sign up. You can make money. K8, Anespa, Ukon, MGuard, E8PA. There's something called Water OS that'll help you streamline all of your systems. I don't have a link for that yet either, but I love the software. We also have other free softwares that I can share with you once you're inside the space. Add-ons that you can add on for the business package: Stake. You can buy bulk filters if you wanted, Kangen Air. I would also really recommend the Ukon as an additional business investment beyond your first one, right? So maybe in a few years in, you get a second Ukon account. That's how people end up owning all of their accounts that go legacy. So why do I feel so passionate about these systems? Well, let me just tell you a story. My mom spent $13,000 on a new water system and pipes for her house, and the filter is literally a water softener. And the PureWay filter does all of that and more in stage 1 of its 3 stages. So there's still contaminants in my water, even though $13,000 was spent. You spend $15,000 to $30,000 between PureWay and Enagic, which can be financed over time, and you're getting systems that last you way longer, have less upkeep, get rid of most contaminants, right? 99.99%. So this investment not only saves you money potentially depending on your route, but you can make money with it, share the wealth with others. These systems are here to support you for the long run. These systems are here to lift you up, to support you in your health, your wealth, and your financial abundance, right? This is so key. Having systems like this in your home, in your life, is so key. Water is life. It's the bridge between science and spirit. It's the thing that sustains our bodies and connects us to the truth of earth. When you protect your water, when you look after your water, when you protect the water in your body by drinking high quality water, you protect your sovereignty physically, emotionally, spiritually. This is about more than just hydration and investing in health and wellness products. This is about radiation protection, nervous system regulation, and reclaiming your intuitive, feminine led way of doing business and life. This is so much bigger than just sales. So, thank you so much for joining us here today. I'll see you in the next video.